Hello and welcome back to my podcast, Pulling Back the Curtain with Vinny Ali. I'm your host, Vinny Ali, where we do a deep dive into my creative mind. So, guys and girls, gals in between, we are now on episode 19, if you can believe that. So today's concept is going to be about you are what you eat. Now, this is a very old phrase that people have said for hundreds of thousands of years, if not longer. Pretty much saying that what you consume, you become. And that not only applies to how you eat physically with food, nourishment, etc., but your influences in your life as well. I noticed that when you are consuming content, for instance, like YouTube and TikTok, that's what you create. That's what you're more familiar with, the ins and outs and how that works. For me, I was a very, very big believer that you are what you eat when it comes to content, before content was a thing. I'm 38. I'm from the 90s and the 80s and 2000s, all right? We didn't have the internet. We had movies, TV shows, plays, musicals, books, comic books, living life in general. That was our content that we consumed. So, what I'm going to explain to you is the importance of being mindful of it. When I first started my acting career in the eighth grade, ninth grade, I was convinced that I needed to consume content that I wanted to create. So I watched action movies, huge action movie junkie, like Jackie Chan, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the greats of my time period. And I wanted to be just like them. So I started walking on the treadmill while watching Jackie Chan movies. Yeah, but here's the caveat. I would set the incline at the highest incline possible, and then I would put weights on my ankles to improve my leg strength, and it did immensely. I mean, it made me a much better basketball player. I could run down some of the best players in my league. I mean, I wasn't able to, outshoot them or anything, but I could keep up with them because I put so much pressure on my legs to be strong. I once read an article in Muscle Fitness magazine that said you must punish your legs. And that is translated over to most of my workout routines when I'm consistent. I mean, hell, basketball, soccer, baseball, it's all in the legs. Bowling, even that as well. But what really got me into legs was Muay Thai kickboxing. Every day is leg day. Every day. From the warm-ups to skipping rope to running, to shadow boxing, hitting pads, hitting the heavy bag, it's all in the legs. I would always impress my coach with how I could keep doing bodyweight squats because that's just how strong my legs were. My hands were pretty quick, but it was my legs that had some serious power, and that's where all power comes from the ground up. Don't worry, it all makes sense. So what I'm coming to the conclusion is with this, you have to choose the content you are watching, you are consuming, whether you are if you want to be a content creator of any sort, if you want to be a working actor, be mindful of what you're watching. Be mindful of the plays you're involved in, of the musicals, of the movies, of the voice work that you get into, because that's going to influence you and how you do certain things, certain aspects, how you carry yourself, how you read the material, how you express the emotions going on in the moment. Because in every single genre, every single style of content, there's a certain way you do things. For instance, in YouTube and TikTok, you all guys love like over exaggerated emotions. It's like being on a kid show or being a theater production on crack, just in everyone's way. The way I describe it is this: there's Broadway acting, da 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 da. There's stage acting, which is more reserved. Then there's film, just more in here. So my advice to you is if you are out there creating or working on things, watch everything. Take little bits and pieces of everywhere. One time, I had a wonderful audition. It was for a YouTube show, and I came in the room and I understood immediately what type of show it was. It was a throwback 90s sitcom style show. So I made my bad guy a very 90s bad guy, big, over the top, bombastic. And when he was defeated, he literally ran out the room. I ran out of the room, and I come back in all sheepishly. I said, "Where the hell did you come from?" They never experienced anyone like me before. And that's because of the content I would consume. I would watch movies from across the board, from black and white to Technicolor to HD to 3D, and I would observe and absorb all that information. The greatest advice I was ever given was by Mr. Josh Maley Hagan. I is a sponge. I observe and absorb information. Those words have rung through my bell, which is my head, ever since that day in high school when I first really getting into theater. Because it's true. You got to be a sponge. You got to observe and absorb information, because the motif, the style that you could see from a 1930s film could lend itself to a modern day project. The expression of just the eyes, of how he's, like, for instance, Humphrey Bogart in The Maltese Falcon, he did not move very much. He was very much stoic, like a statue, and that lent to his character. And there are moments when you are doing a scene where you just need to stare someone down, not give them anything, make them squirm, make them make the first move. And that I learned from watching that. I was watching a B movie, which are B movies are just like movies that don't quite make mainstream. It was called Hobo with a Shotgun. It was a very over-the-top film about a hobo who decides to take back his town from a bunch of drug dealers. He has a magnificent monologue where he talks to children that are just born. And it's a very in-depth, deep conversation with them about how you think this world is beautiful and you'll start out perfect, but then influences will happen to you. You'll get seduced by drugs and violence, pornography, and maybe you'll end up like them, down in the ditch, choking on your own vomit. Or maybe you'll end up like me, a hobo with a shotgun. I mean, like, the whole thing is you can grow in any aspect, in any type of story that you're in as an actor. So I never really said no to work growing up. Kind of like how how Samuel L. Jackson doesn't really say no to work. I don't, because I see value and merit in every single project I've been in, from the smallest little voiceover job where I have one line to doing Othello in Shakespearean masterpiece. There's always something I can pull from, always something I can learn from by doing it. So for the first 10 years of my career, I made it a point, conscious and subconscious, that I was going to do every single project that came my way, and I was going to learn from it, and I was going to move forward. And I did. And it's made me a very versatile actor as I am today. And I'm very grateful for it. Now, I did not really learn about the business till much later. Agents and managers, I'm still learning that. Self-tapes, for instance. Self-tapes are still very intimidating to me at the moment. But working with you guys, doing the podcast every single week, has helped become more comfortable being in front of the camera in this intimate manner. Because for me, I have patience for people. Technology, not so much. Never have. But I feel like the more I do this, the more comfortable I'm going to get in the modern age. And hopefully somebody will hear this. Someone will see what I'm doing and say, hey, you know that guy? I want to work with that guy. I want to collaborate with that guy. He's been around the block a couple times. He knows a few things. Oh, and the beard is for Halloween, because I want to be Billy Butcher from The Boys for Halloween. So I got the hair, got the beard. Just need a Hawaiian shirt or two. Anyway, next time that you are going down a rabbit hole of TikToks and such, just be mindful that the content you consume is going to become a part of you. So if you could be more picky with it, pick something that's a little more in tune with your morals and your path in life. Like for me, I watch a lot of positive videos. I watch a lot of stupid videos too, because I like to keep myself balanced. And I try to find things that encourage me to do more than just pass time and just exist. Actually do thought-provoking things. Like, I like to journal. I like to do the podcast. help my friend Courtney Akison with her radio play, and well, encourage myself more to do my own content creation, do my own writing, because I want to do more than just my 9 to 5s, not even 9 to 5s. My crazy work life is so stretching and exhausting that I just can't think straight some days. And I know I'm meant for more. I know I can do more. I know that every party I said no to, every girlfriend that I have hurt because I was so focused on my career path is worth it. Acting is what makes me want to get up in the morning. And writing is now making me want to get up even more and stay up later. And they go hand in hand. All I'm saying is be mindful of the content that you are consuming. Be mindful of the food you're consuming. Be mindful of the actions you are taking towards your path in life. It's yours and yours alone. And I want to see you succeed in your own definition of success. Well, I think that's all I have to say about that, about You Are What You Eat on episode 19, if you can believe that. Pulling Back the Curtain with Vinny Ali. Thank you guys for your time. And remember, be the change you want to be. That which does not serve you does not deserve you. And above all else, embrace who you want to be. Thanks, guys.